Hi everybody, welcome back, welcome to the neighborhood. I know it's been a while. Thank you for being patient. We have the video for today. I'm going to tell you what I've been doing, where I've been, what's been going on in a minute. Let me read today's fortune, and from Fortune Cookie Wisdom, available on Amazon. Anyway, not sponsored. You are a person with a strong sense of duty. Yeah, I have a strong sense of duty. Yeah, I think so. When I'm supposed to do something, I try to do it, try to be on time, all that good stuff. So good work ethics, Had that before I went in the military though. But because, I had a strong mom. So yeah, she always taught us, you do the right things because you're supposed to. That's that. Anyway, so that's today's fortune. Where have I been? Well, we had to run down to Louisiana. Sharon had a family member pass away, her aunt. So we drove down. The flights were just crazy. Had us going to New York, waiting for 4 hours, flying to North Carolina, waiting for another 3 hours or 4 hours, and then flying to New Orleans after, and then, so by the time you added up the time, we were like within an hour, we could drive there. So we did. We didn't drive a Mini Cooper. We drove her Subaru. Anyway, so that's where we've been. I tried to connect between family obligations and things. I tried to connect with Jeff Horshoff, Mr. Ed. However, he was busy doing things that, he's got life too. So actually, I thought he was doing moving hives with Joey Rawls and of course, Good Time Charlie. But Joey Rawls has a machine to pick up the hives and relocate them. So that's what they were doing the one day that I was really available while we were there. The rest of the time we had like family obligations. However, I did stop by the Abbey, Sharon, myself, and my sister-in-law, Rose, and saying hi to my great nephew, Kai, who he's always encouraging me. He's like, Uncle Jimmy, you have 500 some odd subscribers. You can get 1,000, So hi, Kai, and tell your friends, and we'll do something special for them. Anyway, so we went to the Abbey. I purchased some more honey because I didn't have any more Abbey honey, but I did get some more the lotion bars and the monk soap that they make. And my sister-in-law, we bought a couple of things for her as well. So, and anyway, so that's where I've been. I haven't been making any videos. It's been cold. It's still winter, or whatever, because we get those couple of days where it warms up, like today, for instance, and then you'll go back to freezing temperatures, then it'll warm up and freezing. So right now, it's about 55 degrees. The bees are flying, and I'm not going to go in them today. Tomorrow's supposed to be even warmer, and so I'm just going to change the fondant tomorrow. Today, I have a whole list of things that I need to do that I'm not going to do, but I have a list. So, but I do need to get the apiary situated for the springtime because I'm going to be absent for a while. I'll explain that in a minute too. So where the hives are in the back that are not occupied right now, those need to get moved into the position that I want to have them whenever I get more bees. I need to set up my swarm trap. And I may go ahead and open it up. However, today's February 8th, by the way. I didn't change my calendar yet, but it's a Thursday. Monday is my club meeting, so I'll find out. I'll talk to the other beekeepers in the area, find out if they have their swarm traps open and baited yet or not. Find out when. I know last year I baited mine on March 13th, looking at my calendar last year. So. Yeah, and I caught 2 swarms last year. So that's gonna happen Monday when I go to the club meeting. So I got a list of stuff that I'm not gonna get done, but a list to do. I'll probably put it up here. One here. Anyway, also here, our annual Honeybee Festival, the 13th annual Honeybee Festival is gonna be June 22nd, 2024. We increased it by 2 hours. Used to be 10 to 2. Now it's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So it's a 6-hour festival. And we expanded to the Chesterfield County Fairgrounds. So if you're in the area around that time, last year we had about 3,500 people. And for those of you who went to the Honeybee Expo, or you've seen videos of the Honeybee Expo, 3,500 is a lot of people. And for our little small footprint, a small parking lot for the park that we were using, it was really tight, and sometimes the lines were longer. Anyway, the county saw all of that. They see the popular Honeybee Festival, so they graciously gave us the fairgrounds. So we have plenty of room to expand. We're gonna double the amount of food trucks, I think, and also vendors, and have more opportunities for education, which is what our bee club, the Rockwood Park Backyard Beekeepers Association. It's about the education. So we'll have more opportunities to educate people about bees, pollinators, beekeeping, the works. So volunteers are still needed. We're always going to need them. Even if you want to up until the weekend prior, volunteer. You may not get a pretty fancy shirt like this one. This was the shirt from last year. We did the Swarm the Park thing. You can check it out. If you volunteer late, but if you volunteer early, put your size down, you'll get your free shirt, and have fun. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna take you out here, but on my last video, I mentioned that I was going to New Zealand. Quick story, try to keep this under 5 minutes. We were sitting around the house, Sharon and I called her a pollywog. It's not a derogatory term, but I was just kind of joking around. I said, "You're a pollywog." She's like, "You're a pollywog." I said, "No, I'm not." And she knows I'm not. I'm a shellback. And what a pollywog is if you're Navy or on a ship, if you cross the equator, you do a little ceremony in the Navy. Back in my day, 1985, it was like hazing, but I don't know what they do nowadays. But you go through a little ceremony all day or whatever, and then you become a shellback. You're welcomed into the realm of shellback. So she got online and she started finding a ship, a cruise, something she can get on so she could be a shellback. She found a cruise that leaves from Sydney, Australia, stops off in Auckland, New Zealand for a day. Then it goes to a couple of South Pacific islands, and then you cross the equator on your way to Hawaii. And you spend a couple of days in Hawaii before you depart the ship and we fly back home. So when they cross the equator, the ship does a kind of a wimpy ceremony. I say wimpy because of what I went through, but they do a little ceremony. It's voluntary if you choose, and then you become a shellback. So she that day booked the cruise, and so we'll be going there. Now I have a friend in New Zealand. This book, I did 5 months sailing in the Caribbean on that sailboat. This book is available on Amazon as well, which I wrote. Not sponsored. However, one of the guys that came, which was the boat owner's grandson, his name is Chris, and he lives in New Zealand. So I contacted him, told him I would be there for that one day, and he lives 4 hours south of Auckland, and so we may get a chance to see him. We may not. He went on a mission, church mission there, met a young lady from New Zealand. They got married, and as I understand now, they're expecting their first child. So congratulations to Chris. Hopefully we'll get to see him, but with work and everything else, he may not be able to make that 4-hour journey by car. Part 2 of that is a guy named Kyle watches my videos. Welcome to the neighborhood, Kyle. But his family owns the company that makes these, BIQ. And they're out of Auckland, New Zealand. I think it's North Auckland, but still in Auckland. Like he said, walking distance to downtown somewhere. So we've been in touch by email. And so hopefully I'll get a chance to meet up with him. Maybe go see where they make these. I use these hive gates. If you've seen any of my hives out here, all of them have hive gates with the exception of my swarm trap, which it wouldn't. But and this is my one spare. I was gonna buy a few more because the long hives I'm building, I want hive gates. So hopefully I get a chance to meet with him. And while I was at the Bee Expo in Louisville, Ciracel, met some people from Ciracel, and they invited us to come to their facility in Auckland and look around and do whatever. And I think they have some bees in behind their shop. Like, so maybe we'll get a chance to do that. Don't want to spend all of the time doing bee stuff on vacation, but some of the time would be nice. So hopefully those things will happen. I only have the one day in Auckland, and so yeah. So that's what's going on there. So we'll talk more about that later. However, now is the time to take you outside and show you where I'm going to move the new hives, or move the hives to get ready for this season. So let's go outside. Okay, all those hives back there are empty. They're just staged there for now. What I want to do is I want to turn this this licensed hive stand sideways and put it right in front of like the stack of cinder blocks there. I want to face it that way because that's south, and that's the same direction that the farmhouse is facing. And if I ever finish the long hives, that's where I want to put them, there in that spot. The second set, so I'll put a 10 frame box, maybe the one with the A-frame roof there, a 10 frame box and a nuke, depending on if I catch a swarm or if I do a split. I'll do one of those. If it's a big swarm and they can go straight into a 10 frame box, then I'll use the 10 frame box and not the nuke. But if it's a small split from either the yellow hive next to the storeroom or the farmhouse, then I'll probably just split them small into the nuke until they build up and then transfer them to the 10 frame. So that's two gonna be that way. And then on this side, the back end, I'll put two on that side. So I may have to either build another stand. I do have another temporary stand, so I'll probably use that. Anyway, let me show you, get that going. Okay, I'm gonna leave them there, see if I like it where they're located for the next day or two. And if I like it, then I'll go ahead and level them up. They're not hard to level. The hive stand, the legs on the hives are the flow hives, so they got the, well, you could just level each leg. So I'll do that with the 10 framers, and I'll just make sure they're level. Yeah, so next thing I'm gonna do is take down my swarm trap, and no, I'm gonna wait until Monday till I go to the club meeting. Then I'll take it down, put some frames in there. I got some old frames, of course, and a couple of blank frames, put them in the swarm trap. And I got some, I don't know what it is, but the little vials, they had them at the bee festival, or not the bee festival, the Bee Expo. Might be Swarm Commander, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's a vial, you crack it, maybe wipe the inside of the entrance and then just toss it inside. and your trap is baited. So we'll see. Last year I just used lemongrass oil, essential oil, and like I said, I caught 2 swarms last year. But my video from that, everybody said, oh, you used way too much. So I used way too much last year, but it worked, but I still used too much. So this year I bought those vials, and I'll use that, see how it works. But yeah, so if in a perfect world, when I finish those 2 long hives that I'm gonna build, they'll go there, one, and one of them will go there. And yeah, so that'll be the farmhouse will stay here, another long hive there, another long hive there. Have not decided how I'm gonna make them different, but the boxes will be the same as far as the bee living area, but the rest of it, there'll be something. I don't know what yet, but we'll figure it out when the time comes. Like I told my wife the other day, I told Sharon, I don't build with plans, I build with ideas. So I just get an idea and then I build it to that idea. So if you're gonna ask me for plans, I don't have any. However, the boxes are gonna be standard boxes, but standard for me and my XL frames, not standard for a deep frame, or not standard for lands or regular Langstroth or whatever. They'll be my kind of hybrid system that I enjoy operating. So yeah, anyway, so yeah, we'll go with that. All right, that's it. I'm gonna close this one out because it's been a while and I want to get this out. Don't want it to be too long. Thank you guys for putting up with my absence, and ladies for putting up with my absence, not being on video as much. Because like I said, I don't pre-video things and have them stored. I may start doing that in the future so that you guys can see me on a regular basis. You don't like that, but you might. So anyway, that's it for now. The music is playing me out. I gotta go because it's like the Grammys. They're gonna yank me off stage. All right, y'all have a good one, and get ready for spring so you can have fun with your bees.